Hello everyone, it's your boy Mr. Lucky Gaming. In today's video, I'm doing very different things. We'll be talking about Destiny 2 and its new Lightfall campaign. Now, I usually know I post Dragon Ball content on my channel. It's usually what I do. But I just want to talk about this DLC, and I'm going to talk about why I think it's the best Destiny 2 DLC of all time, and also the worst as well. Now, the whole reason why, I'm just going to start up with the negatives right off the bat. Now, I've played this campaign multiple times on both my Titan and Warlock, and I gotta say, um, this campaign, man, it is just what it reminds me of. If you are some OG Destiny 2 players, it reminds me of D1's campaign. And if anyone played during that time, people will remember how awful the campaign was back then. And it wasn't really bad per se from a gameplay standpoint, or like bad just because it was just really bad storytelling. It's because they didn't tell us anything. So pretty much it really was bad storytelling, but it was just really bad. It didn't say anything. If they explained more things, Destiny 1 campaign could have actually been pretty good. But they still didn't tell us anything, so it's like we don't know anything. That's pretty much the same vibe I get from this, is because they didn't really tell us anything during this campaign. I mean, I don't know if you guys have actually played Lightfall campaign before, but if you have, you guys probably already know that they don't explain anything. This is it. You beat the campaign. I just feel empty. They don't explain anything. Now, that is like my one big gripe about the Lightfall campaign. I will say they could have done a way better job of storytelling. Witch Queen, in my opinion, has the best storytelling. And then, honestly, Shadowkeep and some of the other DLCs have some pretty decent storytelling. This, on the other hand, we had high expectations for the storytelling because we have one more DLC before the final shape, and that's pretty much it of this quote-unquote saga. Darkness Saga, or whatever we're calling it. It's the end of that saga. So, we have one more DLC after this, and then that's it. Now, I understand the seasons in between them. I don't like to count the seasons. I know everyone, people who are defending this, are counting the seasons and all that. But people got to remember that the seasons are its own thing. And not only that, I really don't count the seasons. It's just they're all spread out. There's multiple different seasons. And I do think the seasons have good stories, but they're nothing too crazy. Like I said, it's not really fleshed out or anything like that. I will say though that some seasons do have some good stories, but I just don't think that's a defend like that's not a good excuse for the campaign we got. Now, the only thing I will say in the defense is that of Bungie is that this is okay, but then it's not okay as well at the same time, because this is just not okay and this late into the story. The reason why, when I remember when I played Destiny 1, I really wasn't upset about the story being as bad as it was in D1, is because we don't know anything. There was nothing, we didn't know. We didn't know anything. So it's like, it's not the end of the world if they just like don't introduce us to anything, I don't think, back then. Now it's a problem because we already know most of the story. We know a lot of things, and they still don't explain a lot. They explain a little bit in hidden lore pieces, I think, like during some exotic quests so far in Lightfall that I've played so far, but they still don't give us enough. It just doesn't. The story just does not satisfy, and I don't think it satisfies for a lot of people. Now, enough of the really negative. I could go on all day about how really, in my opinion, bad the story really is. A lot of people are upset, and I gotta say I am very upset as well. But this DLC does not have only negatives. This DLC is one of the best for a reason, is why I called it. So, the reason why I think this DLC is the best is because it's gameplay. This is probably the most fun I've ever had in Destiny in a long time. And that's just PvE. I'm really a PvP player, but I do play some PvE sometimes, and obviously I'm playing PvE in this video right here. But in my opinion, I do love some PvE. I will say so, if I had to say so myself, I do think that I do gotta say, the it's just too much, man. Like this DLC is just too much when it comes to gameplay. You got Shran, you got so many new exotics. I don't know. I could go on all day about how I love the gameplay. Now, the Shran is just so fun. That's why I was a little like hesitant to really talk about Shran because I don't know how fun it's gonna be for. I know they nerfed Stasis when it came out on release. It was really fun on release, and then, but the Shran is just something else. It's just extremely fun. Probably the most fun I've ever had. Like I said, in PvE in Destiny 2. It's not even close. It's not. It's not. It's actually not even close. This is the most fun I've ever had. Now, I will say that not just from a gameplay story, but the changes they had are pretty decent. They had some pretty good quality of life changes. They changed a bunch of mods in the game, and there's some good changes. Like I said, I don't think the changes are really bad per se. I think they're pretty good. If I had to say so myself, though, I think some of them are kind of pointless. Like the accommodations are kind of pointless change, in my opinion. I think they're a cool change, but I just think it's stupid how you need to actually accommodate everyone just to level up. I mean, it's part of, like, you have to do it now in order to rank up, and it's also part of like the new things to get loadouts and everything. I just don't. Me personally, I don't like that. I don't like how they're forcing people to do that, and I understand it's part of the game. It's good. Overwatch has something like this, but it's just for fun. You get rewards for accommodating players in this game, and that's, believe it or not, that's not good. It's actually really bad because then what happens is you just get people accommodating players just because. Not because they did good, not because they did this, just because. It doesn't matter what they did. They could be the worst player of all time, no offense to some people who are the worst players. It really is just stupid how they have it designed. I will say too, there's also some pretty decent changes as well when it comes to like just overall quality of life changes as well. I think the new map looks better. I think it's easier to get XP and all that stuff. I feel like they just made a lot of decent changes. And I think the overall game is kind of balanced right now. I don't know, PvE Strand is pretty overpowered, not just in PvE but also in PvP as well. But I just do think that the DLC itself, gameplay wise, is really good, and just they made a lot of good quality of life changes. But like I said, I'm gonna say it again. I do think the campaign is really bad. The campaign could have been so much better. There's just so many things they could have improved on. The story, like I said, the storytelling at this point in Destiny should not be bad. It shouldn't. We shouldn't be left in the dark about certain things. We should know everything. I don't know why we don't. Like, there's still. I mean, I get they answer some questions and some exotic missions, but in my opinion, if you don't play those exotic missions, you will never know what the Veil is. You would never know Calus' backstory as well if you never played OG. So let's say you're a new player, right? You're coming into Destiny 2, Lightfall. Everyone, you heard from a friend, your friend's like, Destiny 2 is one of the best games of all time. You should play Destiny 2 Lightfall. And you get real interested in the story because like the story's pretty decent. You play Destiny 2 Lightfall, get introduced. You have no clue who Calus is, none of that, nothing, because they don't introduce you to him at all. I mean, they make a solid introduction, but if you have to actually play beforehand to actually actually know about all this. Now, one thing I will say, shout out to like the Destiny 2 community for having a bunch of lore guys who explain the lore, because without them we wouldn't know a lot of stuff. I'll be honest. Me personally, I wouldn't know a lot of stuff. But I will say that, like I said, the DLC, when it comes to the story, it's all over the place. If you don't know what's going on, or you won't know. I don't, like I said, if you don't know what's going on currently, or you don't know what's going on before, like if you have no clue about the story, you're not gonna find out. Me personally, like I said, I don't know. I had no clue what the Veil was, and after playing the exotic mission, I understand a lot more. But it still doesn't explain it. It doesn't explain the witness. Doesn't explain anything in the story. So, in my opinion, it has lots of flaws in the story, and it's just like it's kind of sad because I just don't understand what happened with the story. If you guys actually remember, back in Destiny, I think I want to say Destiny, early Destiny 2. I gotta say the story got pretty decent, and around like Shadowkeep, Forsaken time, like those DLCs had decent stories, and in my opinion, I just don't think this one even comes close. I feel like the Beyond Light story, the Forsaken story, and all the other stories are actually better. Now that sounds pretty crazy to say, because I feel like we're getting to the end game, so people are probably more interested with this at the current moment. But if I had to be brutally honest, I don't think this satisfies me in terms of story. Like I said, this is just, I feel like this could have been so much better than what it really is, and it's really it could be, but it's just sadly not. Um, the story definitely needs to be better than this, and that's pretty much it. Honestly, when it comes to campaign, they could have done so much better. But like I said, I really do think that the game itself is pretty good right now. Destiny 2, Lightfall is a good DLC. If you look past its really rough story, I still think it's probably the most fun I've ever had in this game. And it's only going to get better, I think, when it comes to fun. I get it. Like, people who are real story guys are really upset right now, and I 100% understand. I'm upset as well, obviously. I care about the story. I mean, I've been a Destiny 2 player since the beginning, since the beta. And I will say, it does upset me that the story is still having issues. But it's okay. Every game goes through this kind of stuff sometimes. It's just sad that Destiny goes through these story developments a little bit more often than I would say. But besides that, if I had to say, give my honest opinion, I do think Lightfall is a good DLC, and I do think it's, if you have not bought it or like have seen these negative reviews. I know IGN gave it a 5, and I know some people are giving it decent reviews. They're okay. I will say this DLC for me personally is like a 9 or like 8 out of 10. And I know it sounds crazy after how bad I bashed the story, but it is really that good. Like the gameplay for itself honestly carries. From a story standpoint, you could give this game a 5. Like honest truth, I understand why IGN gave it a 5 if they're talking about for a story standpoint, but overall, I just don't think that's true. Strain is the most fun I've ever had in this game. I don't think it comes close. Like Strain is legit the most fun I've ever had in this game. It doesn't even come close. Like I said, I played PvE a lot. I played PvP a lot over the course of the years I've been playing Destiny, and I will say that Strain is, like I said, not even close to the most fun I've ever had in this game. But besides that, I do think that if you are a new player, do give this a shot. I think it's great. If you're an old player trying to return and hearing the negative reviews, I think you should still return anyway. The DLC is great, like I said. If you're a real story guy, I can understand why you won't. But trust me, it's really not that bad. It really, honestly, is pretty decent. The story for me has been all over the place, honestly. In my opinion, I understand most of the story, but still, I'm not a big story guy. But if you are, I will say that you probably will be upset, but I still think it's worth buying. Overall, though, like I said, I give Destiny 2 Lightfall probably an 8 out of 10 or a 9. I would probably just give it a solid 8. I mean, I don't think it is 9 because of this big story and the fact that they have done it before. If this is their first flop, I would give them 9. Like I said, I don't think you guys understand how fun Strand really is. From a gameplay standpoint, like I said, it's not even close. The most fun I've ever had in this game. But besides that, guys, I really don't know what else I could say. I do think that the story is great, but it could have been way better. And the gameplay, I think, is probably the best portion of this game. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed. And let me know what you guys think about Destiny 2 Lightfall. Now, if I had to say so myself, I think, like I said, it's an 8. But let me know what you guys give it. You guys give it a 5, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Besides that, guys, thanks for watching. And you guys have a good one.